right, this video lesson is how we programmed our book originally.
Find something out that
All right. So the first thing I did with after I did the remix, I'm going to change the title up here. I'm going to put your name and class period. You're going to go to the very end and take off the word template. Next, I'm going to come over here to the stage, bottom right. Click on the stage. I'm going to change this beige. Once I click on stage, I go to backdrops. I am going to click on the paint bucket. Come up here to the fill color. Decide what color I want. And I'm going to click in the center and it changes the color. So one more time. Click on the paint bucket. That's a fill symbol. Click on the fill color. Find the color I want. Click here in the center. You can do this at any point of the program and it'll be okay. It will not affect any of your coding. After I've changed the background color, I am going to come over here to the robot. We're going to go ahead and code the robot first. We're going to make the robot move to various places when we control with the arrow keys. So I make sure the robot is clicked and it's green here. I make sure my robot is right here, and I'm going to start out with an event block. The event block I need is going to be when I click the space key. I'm going to bring that over and I'm going to change it to an up arrow. I am going to do this 4 times with 3 more. So what I can do with this one is right click and duplicate until I have 4 of these. And they all say up arrow right now, but I'm going to click on the drop down. One will be to the left, one will be to the right, the last one will go down. Now I have an event block for each one of my arrows. This is my start key within the program. Now I'm going to come to motion. And if you have any issues with the being able to click on here like this, you're going to move your mouse across the word motion until you get the symbol like you see on the screen with the fingers making what looks like a pointer L. Then you can click on it. We're going to use south, north, the west, and the east. We're going to use the directional signs here. South will, of course, go to down. North will go to up. West will go to left. East will go to right. We'll test it right now. I'm going to move my arrows and my robot moves. Now what we're going to do also, we don't want the robot doing the Michael Jackson moonwalk. We are going to go to looks and we are going to change the costume depending on the direction it's facing. Because when I look at the costume tab, I have all these different costumes. So we're going to use the costumes for one when he's moving forward, when he's moving to the left, the right, and all of that. So in costumes, which is under looks, looks can be anything from say blocks to the costume to the sizes. I'm going to bring over the switch costume block. I'm just going to bring the same one over 4 times, and then I'm going to make sure it's correct. So I've got up arrow, a switch of costume, and then north. So what I plan to do when I look over here real quick, this is L1. He's facing left and his little legs are together. Here's L2. You can see what it looks like he's walking. I'm going to want the number 2 for the left, which means I'm going to want the number 2 for up, down, left, and right. So this is up. I don't want U4. I'm going to want U2. I'm going to scroll down and find U2. On the left one, I'm going to scroll until I find L2. Right is going to be R2. And down will be D2. So now when I test it, when I go left, the robot's facing left. When I go right, he's facing right. Up, he's facing away from us. When he goes down, he's facing that way. All right, so this would be a good time to freeze the video and make sure you have the event block, space key because that's what you change, motion block for the direction, look block right here for switch costume to make him move. So that's what you would freeze. Now once you unfreeze it or unstop it, we're going to have our robot always start here in the center, facing forward. This is like his charging station. We're just setting it for the middle. So I'm going to bring over an event block, and it's when the green flag. This is something that I want to always happen when the green flag is clicked. This is like my general power button. So when the green flag is clicked, I'm going to come down here to controls. I'm going to bring over this forever block because I want this to always happen in a continuous loop until we end the game. And we're going to bring over an if statement. When you use a forever block, you have to be really careful and conscious what you put inside of it because the forever block is going to tell it to repeat what's in it over and over. So if you were to put any like a say block like this in here, this is what's going to happen. It's going to keep saying hello for 2 seconds. It won't stop. So that's not something I would want in a forever block. What we're going to do is put an if statement in there. And for those that were here when we did the if statement haunted house, if statements work on a true false design. If something is true, it's going to do what it says. If it's false, it won't do anything. So we want this to say when it's touching, I gotta think for a moment. Oh, I know what I did. Give me just one moment. Okay, I gotta kind of back up. We're still gonna use this forever block, but this is not when it starts. This is actually what happens when it hits the wall. So we're gonna program it that if he hits the wall, he doesn't walk through it like this. Then we're gonna set it up where he's always in the center. So I come to sensing. At the top of sensing, it says touching mouse pointer. I am going to click on this, and I'm going to come to the sprite listed for room. So when it's touching the room, my robot is going to go to the center, and it's going to switch costumes to a D1, and I'll show you what that looks like. All right. Oh, I got to click the green flag up here first. So I'm going to hit this wall, and when it does, this is what it does. So this is D1. I am going to double check this because I want to make sure. Yeah, that's correct. It looked like he was walking first. I want to make it look like he's just standing there. Actually, I think D3 would be better. So we're going to switch that to D3. So I'm going to click the green flag, test it one more time, and walk him into the wall, and he goes back to the center. D1 and D3 look pretty much the same. I think for all the other ones we did the D1. All right, so this is what happens whenever he hits the wall. The other thing we're going to do when we click the green flag, we're going to tell him to always go here because once you play the game, he might be located someplace else. We're just going to say, go to center, and we're going to use the same switch costume. And this is just going to be a start point. and I'll show you how that looks. Let's say I've been playing the game and he's way down here. If I hit the green flag, he goes to his starting point. So that's what that is. All right, so right now would be a good time to pause the video. Make sure you have this block, whoops, this here, and this. And then now we're going to go back to Grandpa, and we are going to program some stuff with him first. But what we're going to do is get around to programming the book to do something and Grandpa to do something, and then we'll come back to do two more things with the robot. So to start this off, we are going to have Grandpa do two things. Grandpa is going to use the AI technology, and he is going to request the robot to go find his book. And we're going to go ahead and program him to say thank you also. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to events, and I'm going to get the one that says with the space key. We're going to change it for the letter B because we're going to be requesting the book. So now we're going to program Grandpa. So with Grandpa, we are going to be using some weight blocks and the AI blocks. So we're going to come to controls, and there's a weight block here. We're going to need two of these. And the reason we need two of them is because of the AI program, we can only do so much. Then I'm going to scroll down to the AI blocks, and the fifth one here, the say block, is what we need. So I am going to connect these two here. I'm going to change this one to a 0.5, and I'm going to change this one to a 2 second. Inside this block is what Grandpa's going to say. Grandpa's going to say joy. That's what my robot's name is. Where is my book? You're going to have to listen to the sounds and determine the speed on what it should sound like. I went with 80, the pitch of 95. I'm going to separate it and show you what it sounds like.
Joy, where is my book?
So one of the things you do is you're going to work out what Grandpa sounds like. You've got to use correct punctuation and spelling because it will say exactly what you want it to say. We're going to connect that there. This is only going to happen when we click the letter B. Now, after it says, wait, where's my book? And we wait another 2 seconds, we're going to broadcast a message. This is going to be a type of code that's going to tell the Joy and the book to do something. That is under events also. So we're going to go to events, scroll down just a little to where it says broadcast message. Now this will change as soon as you create a new message. It will update that. It's not going to always say broadcast message. I'm going to connect this here. I'm going to click on new message, and for this one I need to type in book. So it's going to send a message behind the scenes to Joy to the book. This would be a good time to pause the video and make sure you have all of these. All right, so now we're going to go over to, we're going to go to the book, and we're going to do the bulk of our coding. We're going to have 3 different event blocks. The first one, the event block, is a message block. So where we found this broadcast message, we have when I receive book. This may say new message or message if you haven't typed in book. So when I receive the message book, we are going to go to motion. We're going to choose random location, and we're going to tell it to show. And that show is going to be in your look blocks. Now, I know this seems like some strange code right now. That is because we're going to go to events also. bring over. When I click the green flag, and we're just going to tell it to hide. So anytime we click the green flag, the book is going to hide. When we receive the message book, we're going to show. So what I'm going to do right now, so you can still see everything I'm doing, I'm going to unhide it right here. And I just click these. This is a show, and that's a hide block. I'm working on that. Okay, besides these, we're going to add a series of if statements inside of a forever block. We're going to do 2 sets. So I'm going to bring over the event block when I click the green flag. I'm going to go to control and bring over a forever block. Inside the forever block, I'm going to need 2 if statements. We're going to tell the book what to do with our robot and with Grandpa. So we're gonna code it right here, then bring it in. First, I'm gonna go to sensing because I need a sensing block from my if statements. I'm gonna click on the drop down. The first sensing block is going to be about Joy, the robot. The second sensing will be about Grandpa. So I've got my sensing block here about Joy, my sensing block about Grandpa. So when my robot is close to the book, I want the book to attach to the robot and follow the robot. So I'm going to come up here to motion. I'm going to find the move step block and bring that over. I don't need 10 steps. I'm going to want 5. And what steps actually mean are pixels. Put the phone away, please. Steps on the Scratch program means pixels. It's how many of those little bitty squares that you have on the screen. So this is going to make it 5 steps or 5 pixels from Joy, so which is really close enough. But we also need a motion block that says go to, instead of the random position, go to Joy. So it'll go to Joy. All right, so when my robot gets here, it's going to go to the robot. Now, it won't do it yet because I don't have it inside the forever block. When we get to Grandpa, we want the book to switch from from Joy to the Grandpa. So I'm going to come over here, and when it does that, the sensing here, we're going to program it to wait 0.5 seconds because we're going to have Grandpa say something. We're going to have, actually, we're going to have Joy say something. I go to the AI blocks, bring over my say block, and we're going to have to make it in Joy's voice. And then we're going to tell the book to hide. So it'll look like Grandpa took the book. I need another white block. Changing that to 2 seconds. And then I will broadcast a message. So we just did the wait 2 seconds, and we're going to broadcast a message. This is going to be a brand new message. Even though it says book, we click on it, change it to a new message. This one's going to be called thank you. And then we got to tell all of this not to work. So I'm going to go to control, scroll down to a stop all, click the drop down to say this script and put it in here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this smaller. We're going to put this inside forever. And this is going to have to say, here is your book, Grandpa, because this is going to be Joy, or if you change your robot's name to whatever it is. So I'm going to set that to 85, set that to 100. So I would pause your video right now and make sure you have these blocks. All right, so the next thing we're going to code is what happens when we have our book and it goes to a random location, but it hits the wall. We want to stop that. All right, so what we're going to do is come to events, bring over when I click the green flag. Yes, we have all of these because we need all of these scripts of coding to happen at the same time. So we're going to do something just like we did over here. Bring over the control block forever, and I'm going to bring over an if statement and put it inside. So, and we're going to tell it that when it's touching the room, we want it to go to a random place. Because just with this alone doesn't say if you're touching it, go to a random location, but we only want it to happen if it touches the wall. So it won't happen. Remember, it's a true false statement. If, this is only if touching the room, will it go to a new random location. And that's in right here. So this is only going to be true if it's touching the room. It's on one of these lines that my mouse is at. If it's not, if it lands in any of these open spaces, this won't apply. This becomes a false statement, so it won't do it. All right. You need to make sure you have all of this blocked for your sprite. On this case is the book. Now we're going to go back to we're going to do one more piece of coding for the robot and then for Grandpa. So I'm going to go to my robot, to Joy, and I'm going to go ahead and click this stop because it's rotating. So this is what we had just a few minutes ago. So here's a chance to freeze, or actually to pause the video and make sure you have all these blocks. Remember, these are all your event blocks. They match this color. This is changing the direction, and this is just telling it to go to the center if you touch the room. All right, now the one more thing that we need to add is this is what happens when Grandpa broadcasts the message book. We're going to come to events, find where the broadcast messages are, right here. Sorry about that. When I receive book. So when Grandpa sends out that broadcast message of book, we're going to play a sound called connect, and define sounds. We can put this tab here, click sounds, delete that. We don't need pop. Come down here to the bottom left, go to choose sound, and we're going to type in the word connect. It sounds like this is disconnect. We're going to end up needing both at one point. So I am going to type that in again and add disconnect. All right. So when I receive book, I'm going to come to sound. I'm going to have play sound until done. We're going to make sure it says connect. Put it right here. After that, I need to control or wait 1 second. We don't need to change it. And then I'm going to come down to the AI blocks. We're going to have, let's say one here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth one. We're going to have it say something. Now earlier for my robot, I did a pitch of 85, and let me get this done. Oh my! Oh, I lost it. Go over here to AI. At 85, and I had a 100. It's going to say, "I will find your robot." I will find your book, Grandpa. I will find your book, Grandpa. Okay, so this is what it sounds like.
I will find your book, Grandpa.
All right, you will decide how your voice is saying. So, well, actually, since this is Joy, I need to make it sound like a girl, maybe.
I will find your book, Grandpa.
So you can change that around, and I'll go back and change that again. So when they receive this message, all of this is going to happen. And then I'm also going to have, go back to events. When I click the green flag, when I receive book. Well, we're going to change this to a new message that says log off. And we're going to program it to log off. So when I receive a message to log off, we are going to go to the center. This is where we always started. Go to the center. Switch the costume to the D1. Here. Line D1. And we're going to play that sound disconnect right here until done. All right. So this is the code you need for the robot. So right now would be a good time to pause your video and make sure you have all of these blocks right here. Make sure you have all of those. And then once you have all of these, I would start the video again. Because what we're going to do now is do one more piece of code. That's for Grandpa. So we've got here Grandpa, this is when he's broadcasting the book message. We're going to have him, when we did the broadcast message right here, the thank you, that's going to Grandpa. So we're going to have an event block that says, when I receive thank you. When I receive thank you, we are going to use two controls. We're going to do basically this right here. So let me show you a shortcut. Okay, when I receive thank you, I'm going to separate this. I'm going to right click to duplicate. So I have two sets, you see, of this. I'm going to connect this one here.
Joy, where is my book?
Didn't mean to do that. I'm going to move that here. And I'm going to change this. This is when I receive thank you. So this is just going to say,
where is my book?
Click inside here, delete that. It's just going to say thank you, Joy. So anytime you want to use the thank you, you have this. And instead of broadcasting book, we're going to broadcast log off. This will tell Joy to go back to the center and log off. So what I'm going to do really quickly is come back here to the book. I did mail here. I did email because I was looking at something else. I'm going to make sure all of those are the same. And we're going to test the program. So I'm going to click the green flag. You see Joy comes right here. There's Grandpa. There's no book. I'm clicking the letter B.
Joy, where is my book?
I think no, here we go. Here's the book.
I will find your book, Grandpa.
All right, you can see where this lights up yellow when they're working. I'm going to do my keys. I'm going to send Joy here. Book, and this is how the book looks like. It's following Joy. It's like he or she is carrying the book. Because remember, you can always name your robot whatever you like.
Here is your book, Grandpa.
Thank you, Joy.
All right. Once you have all this, this is when your program is complete.